Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Achua and this is going to be a show me your dance type of video. I can also safely say some of these fragrances are my most used fragrances for 2024. All the fragrances I have here were not purchased prior to 2024. Every single one of them is 2024 with the exception of one that I got like a couple of years ago, but I never really utilized it until this year. And I have various reasons why I have dents in this. Some of them have performance issues, so if I want to spray, I need to spray heavily. Others have others just because I like them, I love them. That is why I wear them a lot, but I have so many reasons why they are dented, and I'll share them with you as I go along the video. The first one I have here is going to be from Paris Corner, which is Khair Fusion. This is going to be that very playful, carefree, girly, young, sort of scent. Some might even call it juvenile. I sort of agree to that, but it's a very playful, uplifting, happy-go-lucky one. And the reason why I have this dent, is not because I it was just because I had to wear a lot of it, for it to make the impact I was looking for. I like my heavy hitters. This is not a heavy hitter, although it sort of, lingers on your skin and on your clothes, but it doesn't give me that, that potency, that oomph, that strong, powerful thing that I'm looking for. So anytime I wear, I need to spray and spray and spray. I always reapply, but this I think the dent was made with like three wears and a few times that I used to test it, in the house, but just three wears and I have this dent just because I have to reapply and overspray to get the experience I wanted, so it's quite a dented one, but the dent was as a result of performance issues. I had to reapply, overspray for it to be what I wanted, so that is going to be the first one. The next one here doesn't have performance issues. It is dented simply because I love this fragrance, and that is going to be from Shagaf with Tonka. And if you can see the dent here from the I think it's somewhere here. I got this one around March. No, I got this one around January of this year, but I was able to utilize it a lot, around February, March. I think this is where the dent is. If you can see how I'm shaking it, it's somewhere here. This is a love for me, it wasn't initially a love for me, but after a while, after I had macerated, I began to appreciate this fragrance, and I love the experience of this. That's almondy, slightly play-doh-ish vibe with a synthetic touch, but it's a synthetic touch that I like, it doesn't throw me off. And I've been utilizing this fragrance for quite some time, so it's going to be one of my most dented fragrances for 2024. The next one here is also a fragrance I got around January 2024, and this is my current dent of Modeat Deux by Afnan. This is a love for me, I have this. I also have one from Pandora Scent Paris Corner, the same direction, Lanui Tresor, but this has been heavily dented because it doesn't give me the performance that, I desire. I need to sort of spray and overspray this one quite heavily before I thoroughly, I get it to last so long, It has, to me, it has a bit of projection and performance issue, it is moderate, but because of how I like my fragrances to announce me, and make me, announce my presence and just stay on me for a long time, I apply and reapply. And I think this dent was made with like three, wears, just about 3 or 4 wears. And that is going to be Modeat Deux from Afnan. The next one is a fragrance that I got around March, yes, and that is Not Stag Expression by Paris Corner. This is such a delightful mandarin orange scent, one of my favorites of all time. Very delightful. It is quite abysmal in the performance, it's quite very abysmal, so I need to spray and overspray. That is the dent, it is no small dent. That is the dent I have in this currently, and this is a very beautiful one, but the reason why it is heavily dented just, within some few months is because of performance issues. But I personally don't find performance issues as issues, to me now, because it's all about the scent profile now. If I love it, I don't mind reapplying, overspraying and doing the most, to get the best out of it. So that is going to be Stag Expression, one of my heaviest dented fragrances for 2024. The next one I have here is going to be a fragrance that it's a body mist. This is a floral that I love. It is a body mist, so it's understandable if you overspray this. And this is So de Janeiro Cheriosa 59, and it's a violet scent that I love. I do not like a lot of florals, but this one is so pretty. It screams me. I feel very confident and comfortable with this type of floral. I think the notes are here. It has um what vanilla orchid, sugared violets, sandalwood. That is what it has. A very sensual, musky vanilla, but more heavily violet. And I like this so much. So that is the dent I have made in this one so far. I think I've had this for a couple of months, maybe 2 months, around 2 months now. And I love this scent. I use it on its own. I also layer it with other fragrances. It matches with a lot of fragrances, so I prefer to sort of, layer it for the most part. What I layer with the most is going to be Cleopatra from Hamidi. Those two together, phenomenal, fantastic. So the next one is going to be from Lattafa, and this is Teriaq. This was launched around end of February, I believe, and as soon as I got this one, I went just ham on this fragrance. I was always using it, but it's quite a strong one, so in as much as I like to overspray and reapply, I couldn't do a lot with this fragrance, but I think it is quite a decent, dent I've made in this Teriaq by Lattafa. It is quite heavily dented, considering that it's quite heavy, and it gives a very intense caramel with that suede and the leather and everything. It is quite strong, but I think this is about 4 times, about 4 ways. I got about 4 ways out of this, and created this thing. So that is going to be Teriaq from Lattafa. The next one here is one that I thought I would have been done with this fragrance by now, December Vanilla. And I don't know if you can see the dent. The dent is somewhere here. It's somewhere here. It's quite dented, considering this one is also quite, loud, it's loud and a bit intense, but I do not mind overspraying this fragrance at all. It is a love for me. Anytime I wear this, I get compliments. It's me, I feel very confident and comfortable wearing this fragrance, So December Vanilla is one of the fragrances that I have heavily dented. It is a love for me, a love for me. So that is December Vanilla from Paris Corner. The next one that also has a significant dent, I call it significance because it is quite new. I think about 2 months at this point, and this is Yuzu from Fragrance World. I have lost the cup, I've lost the cup, but I have to just look for it. This is Yuzu from Fragrance World, and this is going to give you that spicy, yuzu, the note of yuzu, lime, citruses, that is basically what it is. It is quite strong. It is not as mild, it projects, it's lasts and everything, but there's something quite addictive about this, citrus that I love, so when I got it, I went ham on it, I sprayed it. I was just overspraying just to enjoy the scent, so it is heavily dented yuzu. It doesn't have performance issues. It doesn't, not necessarily, citruses normally do not do so well, but this one in particular does not have any performance issues per se. I guess went ham on it because I love the scent profile. So that is used from Fragrance World. Then I move on to one that I would say it's fairly new, very, very new, or about a month ago. And this is Avenue London from Grandeur. It is not as heavily dented, and the dent I made here is, I think, as a result of wearing this for like 2 times, 2 times. It lasts, it lingers, but it doesn't really project. It has projection issues. So because of that, I find the need to sort of overspray for me to get the impact that I want, So it's a bit dented, just because of 2 ways out of this, and I like it, I do really like it. I like how light and airy it is, and not as close as what people make to seem like Baccarat Rouge, I like this one a lot, but it has projection issue, although the lasting power, it lingers on you for about 6 7 hours on clothes, but it doesn't really project, so because I wanted to project, I guess sort of spray and overspray, and that is why I have this, just a little dent here, but I think it's quite significant. So Avenue landing grandeur. The next one here is one that I didn't get in 2024. It is an older fragrance, but I never really utilized this fragrance until I got another one. And these two are going to be Sehr by Lattafa and then Ameer Oudian taste. I've had this the longest, and I think my dent was somewhere here for a very long time. I was not really using it. Occasionally, I'll just spray one on my hand and sniff and enjoy it, and that would be it. Until I got Sehr by Lattafa. And I watched Kiki from my fragrance trio who said something about this combo, and I tried to do this combo, and it is amazing. So because of Kiki's video and getting to know that I could layer these two, because they sort of give me similar vibes, it's amazing on their own. They are phenomenal, but the bulk of the dates was made within like 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. It was so beautiful, combining the two are so beautiful. This is a denting Sehr for now, it is also quite heavily dented. This one is more resonant and more richer, as compared to this, but this one combined with this gives it a very sultry, sexy, vibe. So I prefer to layer these two together, and the bulk of this has been made this year within about 3 weeks. I wore it like twice, and within 2 weeks I was able to narrow the dent from somewhere here to where it is currently, and I equally did the same, to Sehr by Lattafa. It's also quite dented, I wear them by themselves. I prefer to layer them, even by themselves. They are beautiful. You don't need to layer these two to they are equally good on their own, And the next one I find quite interesting, because this is barely 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half at most, in my collection. And this is for Patisserie, I don't know. I'm just trying to shake it to see if you can see where the dent is. I'm here. I'm somewhere here, I'm somewhere here. Where my hand is here. Just about 1.5 weeks, simply because this is so addictive. This fragrance is so addictive with that, cookie dough sort of feel, the almond, creamy, lactonic. I think I've worn this like 2 times, and those 2 times I guess went like all out, because I wanted to get the full experience. I couldn't wait for this fragrance to macerate. It's still in the process of maceration, but I went all out. I just felt it's so addictive, so addictive. It's a lactonic fragrance I love, and just 2 words got me here, So I think I'm enjoying this so much, I just pray that I don't run out of it and then do not find another bottle to buy, So Vaux Patisserie from Paris Corner is one that I currently love. It is like an obsession, as people would say. I love this, I do love this. It makes me feel very sultry, womanly, pretty, sensual, sexy. It's a cuddly, cozy sort of vibe. So I'll highly recommend this Vaux Patisserie, by Paris Corner. And I think the next one here is going to be Oudian from Lattafa. I've spoken about this severally. This is quite an intense one. This might not look like a significant dent to you, but it is, I don't know why. Whenever you turn fragrances upside down, it shows like a bigger sort of, dent. And that is the dent I've made in Oudian so far. This is a very long lasting, potent one, quite polarizing for a lot of people, but to me it is amazing. And that is a dent I've made in this so far, so I think those are the ones. There are other fragrances that I think are also dented, but not as heavily. I didn't want to add anything, then people go like, do you call this a dent, but I've utilized a lot of fragrances in the course of the year, so I can safely say these are my most used, although others, I try them all the time, but most used in the sense of wearing them out in the elements, testing them properly, like making them my scent of the day, people smelling me outside. There are so many fragrances that I guess that I barely take them out. Maybe I guess test them indoors, you know. So those really do not count as dents that you know were made as a result of you really utilizing the fragrances, you know, in the elements. And these ones, I have utilized them in the elements. I take them out, I get compliments from them. They're my most used and then my most dented currently, you know. And that is going to be it for today. And let me know in the comment section which of your fragrances are your most dented and your most used, you know, for 2024. Fragrances that you bought in 2024. I'm so curious. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.